The second part of my talk on why the West is not investing economically and politically in India as it should. Still today, if you look at statistics, whether it is France or other countries, they are investing 10 times more in China than in India. Though India is a much safer place, it's a more stable place, it's got a democratic system in place, and all the problems that India has faced in the last 70 years since independence have been dealt with democratically by repeated elections and also by the people the government that they disliked, they threw them away and elected new governments. Now, I have, as a journalist, because as a journalist, I've always been asked to do negative stories about India. If you're a journalist posted in India, unless you offer to your editor in Paris or New York or London, side stories, negative stories, folkloric stories, you're not going to get published. So most journalists, even if they come to India with a goodwill, they end up writing negatively about India because this is what sells. We also see that films like Slumdog Millionaire or books like The City of Joy, which portray India in a very negative or poor light, sell millions. And if you write something, I have written many books about India. If you write something serious about India, praising India, either you don't get a publisher, or even if you get a publisher, you don't get published. And as a lover of India, as a journalist, as a writer, it pains me and it baffles me also. So I have been looking for a long time, why is there consciously and unconsciously in the minds of Westerners who might love India, might love India culturally and Bollywood and the food. Why is there such a negative undercurrent in the Western media towards India? Now, I have come to the conclusion that it is the Indologists. In every country, there are Indologists, that is specialists on India, who write about India in newspapers, in books, in articles, in blogs. And these people, who often are paid by the government, whether they are professors in Harvard University or whether they are paid by the French government. Here there are a number of Indianists in Paris who are paid by the French government to inform the public about India. And now these Indologists have been feeding negative stories about India in the last 50 years. In France, I've been fighting against them. They hate me. They hate my guts. Because I'm probably, after a guy called Alain Danielou, I am probably the only Frenchman who fights them, who challenges them, that you cannot always speak about Hindu fundamentalism, about slums, about tensions between Muslims and India, about Kashmir, and always offer to the French reader a negative story about India, a negative undercurrent about India. And this is why French businessmen have a hesitancy to invest in India, because they think that it's a land of poverty, of corruption, that Muslims and Hindus are going to fight forever. And of course, this Kashmir story has added. You speak to the ordinary Frenchman in the street, and they tell you, oh, Kashmir, and my sister even, my friends, they all have this negative idea about India. Even though they have come to India, my sister has come to India, she does love India, but she will tell me, oh, Mr. Modi, dangerous man. The BJP, dangerous government, what they have done in Kashmir is horrible. So in the third part, I will explain how this happens. Namaste.